It's my opinion that basically it's the semiconductor sector of the NASDAQ 100 that is holding up the NASDAQ and probably the overall market, both the S&P 500 because how it's weighted and the NASDAQ, especially the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, the triple Qs have been falling down, but the SMH, the semiconductor sector, has still been going up except for the last 2 days. You're starting to see a red print on it. The last 2 days of trading, it's been coming down. You're starting to see some negative correlation in the RSI, where the RSI is sloping downward currently. If you look at this orange squiggly line, that's your RSI, and you look at the MACD still way above the zero line, and we're still above all the moving averages. So if you pull up the moving averages, oops, I go back, hit the little eye thing, and it'll show up well above the 20-day moving average currently. So you don't want to see a breakdown of that. So let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. See that red line? That's the 20-day moving average. And right now we're resting right on top of it. If we break below that, look for a test of the 50-day coming in next. And you can see where that sits on the yellow line. That's your 50-day moving averages. And currently that's sitting at 382. So I'm watching SMH now to see the direction of the NASDAQ 100. If we get a take profit cycle on the semiconductor sector, because really honestly, though, if you look at the semiconductor sector, I was going to say it was elevated, but it's not really all that elevated because you don't have a big gap between the basically the candlesticks and the 20-day moving average. Usually, when you're really elevated, you see a spike much higher than that. And I don't see it really, but not to say there won't be some take profit coming in. It's already beginning a little bit, but right now I'm not really bearish per se on the semiconductor sector. There's too many catalysts that favor it going higher even, and it's not extremely elevated above that 20-day moving average, to be perfectly honest. But if that starts sloping downward, if we break that 20-day, look to see what happens with the interaction on the 50-day. And at that point, I'll be leaning to get a little bit bearish if the 50-day didn't hold up. All right, guys, take care. That's what I see in the market currently. I'm just watching the semiconductor sector to see how it affects the rest of the market. And there is some slight bearish behavior, especially over the last 2 days. You see a spike in sell volume, 2 days of sell volume. RSI is inflecting downward. MACD still uncertain on that, to be honest. All right, guys, take care. Bye.